Hi, my name is Viva Vanti, and honestly, today I'm going to try something new. I haven't really done this before, no reason to in the past, but I have to admit I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised, when buying my wife's birthday presents from GameStop. I obviously was going over, to the Fortnite section, getting some of these, 1,000 V-Buck codes for my giveaways I do, and I couldn't help but notice the Battle Bus. And at first I was like, oh, cool, Battle Bus, oh, whoop-de-doo. But then I looked at the top of it and I saw it's got propellers on it. And you guys, I don't really tell you guys much about this, but personally, I freaking love drones. Like, I have too many of them. This is not actually a drone, it's actually a quadcopter. They call it a drone. But I have to admit, I am very impressed because it's nifty. If you're looking for this thing, expect anywhere from $35 to $50. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. Who knows? But I've already unboxed it. I just put it back in the box so you can see what it looks like. I already took out a lot of the stuff. So let's go ahead and open it up. Inside, of course, you got the drone. And one of the first things that, as a drone enthusiast, that I noticed was the fact that the propellers aren't fixed. They are whatever this is called, but they're loosely there, which for the sake of the longevity of the blades, longevity of the motors, most importantly, it increases that because anything that the blades will hit will get absorbed slightly by the fact that these are not fixed. Now, the negative to that is the fact that it's probably going to have less power because fixed blades have, obviously more transfer of power. But otherwise, take a look at this thing. So underneath, you've got the on-off switch right here towards the bottom. Really simple. You just flip it on. A little blue light starts blinking, which I think is pretty cool. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and put on the safety guards before we go on with the special features that really stood out to me as a drone enthusiast who also really loves Fortnite, specifically Fortnite Save the World. But we have here, besides the guards are cool. Guards are worth having, especially if you're buying this for a kid. Very good idea. Not only will it protect you, it'll protect his drone. And honestly, it's designed in a way that is calibrated to have the extra weight on it, so I would recommend using it. But when you go ahead and turn it on, one of the things that really caught my eye is the fact that easy to connect, but I have the option, if I want to, see the little light? I can click the light, and I can make it blink mid-flight. The fact that you have control over the light while you're flying it with a button is pretty cool. Now, it also has pretty interesting feature that usually a controller like this will have buttons above and below and to the side of the joysticks here to allow you to calibrate. If it's going too far to the right, too far forward, it should, when you turn it on, go just straight up and hover and just stay going straight up. And that's all. This one, however, has a trimming button. So when you hit the trim, then you pick the direction that you want to trim in. But the part that really caught me off guard, I didn't expect it to do something as cool as it's got it's got the control for the sound on it, which is cute. It's clever, I guess. So before you launch off, you can go ahead and get a little nostalgic here, hit that, and get it going. You can see here my dog's tooth managed to puncture the balloon. Thankfully, this thing doesn't rely on the balloon to fly. It was not on when the dog punctured it. I was trying to introduce them to it so they wouldn't go crazy over it, and they did anyway. So, Tala thought it was a toy, I guess, and got one good bite on it. There's instructions, of course, for how to fly it, which talks about calibrating. I also have the charging instructions. You also have how to get the gyroscope calibrated, like I was just talking about. Parts and repair, which is mostly just for the blades. Troubleshooting, which pretty basic. This one here also comes with extra blades, little screwdriver, little mini Phillips head screwdriver, which anyone who buys drones probably has a bunch of these lying around. It's nice to get one. So the controller just requires two AAA batteries, as you see here. Button for trim in the center. When you hit trim, you can then go in the direction you want. We've got the one here for light, as you see there. As I hit it, the light started to blink. We have here cute little audio sound comes out when you hit it of the battle bus taking off or flying around, I guess. I think I had one of them with it actually honking. Yeah, there you go. That's the sound everyone knows. So that's cute, As far as flight goes, I'm still trying to figure out how to get it to fly the way I want, meaning that it's probably not going to be good for outdoors, especially if there's a little bit of wind, but it will do well indoors so far. You hold down and to the center on both joysticks, just like so. to eventually calibrate it once it's on a flat surface, and hopefully from there it flies much better. And as you see, pretty good. I guess you couldn't see it, but overall, I like the way it controls. For the sake of how big it is, I've actually seen other novelty quadcopters like this that literally, if you can think of it, they can make it fly and make it really light. And the bulkier it is, the harder it is to actually have decent control of how you maneuver. But in this case, it's very, very stable. I do think that it's a great starter quadcopter for anyone who's interested, while also being a novelty. You notice I got my defenders over here, making sure there are no husks coming by anytime soon. When you're trying to calibrate it with the trim, if you don't remember that you're on trim like I just did, you're going to end up trying to basically undo your trim while trying to fly it, which is no good. I think actually the quickest fix for that, if you realize you've completely messed up the trim, is just to recalibrate the gyroscope. Alright, so hopefully it's recalibrated to a flat surface now. As a avid quadcopter toy level of quadcopter enthusiast, it's got my attention. There we go. Alright, so obviously you shouldn't be flying a drone with it behind your head or where you can't see it in any way, shape, or form. And your best orientation when you're trying to learn a thing is probably not seated in a chair with a ton of electronic equipment and other things in your way. You want a nice open area. But for someone who's flown a lot of drones, I kind of like the way it is. All in all, out of 5 stars, I gotta give it a solid 4 stars on this. Partially because of the novelty, and as you saw, hopefully when we get a better clip of it, zooming by like as if you're getting dropped off for the battle royale over there. I myself am a Fortnite Save the World streamer. I prefer the tower defense looter shooter, third person, kill the husks, save the world, do the storyline kind of guy. But as far as Fortnite in general, I love it, and when I saw this thing, I had to pick it up. So I hope this video was fun, probably a little silly, because I kind of don't know what I'm doing, I have to admit. Get another flight here. So there, I got it to go right where the camera where I wanted it, but you got to watch out for the monitor there. But I just got the bus hooked on. But the thing is, seems pretty sturdy overall. I've already crashed it a good number of times, and it keeps flying well as long as you calibrate it right each time. Now, calibration though can only do so much. If it starts to warp, I can imagine this thing eventually is going to start having some trouble flying. But that's the same for any drone, really. And so far, I have to admit, I've flown other toy-style quadcopters like this one that have not stood up to my dogs like that one did, have not stood up to even 1 or 2 collisions, let alone me just whatever the heck just happened there, and I'm pretty sure it's going to fly again. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me go and do another flyby, and let's go. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Alright, see if we can get it to come back again. Oh, okay. So that one was actually a pretty nice save there. I almost collided. Didn't quite collide though. I did tip the head of the heavy sniper here, aka the obliterator. One of these came off, which is fine because if one of these got hit hard enough to fall off, that means that I wouldn't have wanted whatever happened to have happened to the blades while the blades were spinning. and to the motor. And a good rule of safety here is to not be adjusting these while it's on. And if you do that, the controller better be out of reach, out of someone's touch, because if this were to turn on while it's in my hand, bad news bears. I'm taking my own risk. Not a big deal for me. So safety wise, make sure it's off before you edit it. In any way, as far as blades are concerned, for the sake of the blade guard, one of them just came off and is part of what keeps the drone flying for longer. And you also shouldn't fly it around your head. Just saying, probably not a good idea. So let's go ahead and try and do a roundabout here. See if I can get it close to these defenders up here. Oh, buddy. Like you just saw in my attempts here, this is literally my first time flying it tonight. First time flying it for longer than just about 10 seconds, and I like the way it handles for something that's this big. I bet I could probably get this thing flying quicker if I got my hands on it for a little longer. But as far as the first impression goes, I gotta tell you this. Let me turn it off before I put it next to the camera. But this Battle Bus quadcopter, aka wannabe drone, actually has caught my attention, and I went ahead and bought it, and I do not regret buying it. I like it. I'm gonna probably fly this on stream. In fact, I might even include it in my alerts if you guys want to throw some biddies at me to tell me to fly it. Guess what? I'm gonna be charging this bad boy up, and for those of you who do like a lot of these quadcopters and toy type things and realize, oh wow, well, where's the battery go? This is an internal battery. It's fixed. You can't exchange it without having to know your way around a soldering iron. I wouldn't want to tinker around with taking this thing apart to change the battery anytime soon. So that means that if you yourself get one of these and you've never really handled lithium batteries, you really want to be careful with how often you charge it, how often you use it. Don't leave it fully charged and unused for too long, because eventually the battery will die, and then this turns into a nice pretty little paperweight. Otherwise, I like it. I know I've said that a couple times already, but I actually really like it. So to review, it comes with the blade guard, and it does come with extra blades. It comes with a USB charging. As you see here, the charging port's in the back of the bus. And the controller is one that matches pretty much every other kind, except for the fact it does say Fortnite on top, which is pretty nifty. And it has controls here for the lighting and the cool little sound effects. Beyond the normal drone, quadcopter, whatever you want to call it, I'd call it pretty good. I like it quite a bit. Silly toy that just really does make me kind of happy. I don't know why. I'm excited though. Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you're interested in winning free V-Bucks from this and future giveaways, follow my Twitter. Link to the current Gleam giveaways below in the description and will last until the end of this month. Best idea for future videos also wins a separate 1000 V-Bucks reward, and entries can be submitted through the video comments or through my Discord. If you want to play Fortnite Save the World missions together, let me know. I'm always looking to help players of all levels. I especially enjoy teaching newer players how to progress, but definitely love knocking out endgame missions with endgame players. Or if you need it, maybe getting those endgame mission rewards like legendary survivors with pretty much any level, as long as you're willing to learn about the game. Hi, my name is Viva Vanti, and excuse me. Hi, my name is Viva Vanti. Will you hush, you little cutie?